Being a first generation Haitian-American, and this could be with a lot of people, but I've come to realize that this is a problem that we have. And it's important that we talk about it, that we acknowledge it, and that we learn to overcome it. Let's go ahead and check it out. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Big Bleu. This is a channel where we find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. So this one is actually going to be interesting in the midst of bringing up another topic. I stumbled upon this video, and honestly, I'm going to drop that like, because what he's saying may be very interesting. Now, I haven't seen this video yet, but within the first 30 seconds, he had me hooked because this is what I was experiencing. Now, the text that you'll see on the video will say bad parenting. What I've come to realize, and actually, let's go ahead and bring up a verse really quick. This is Ephesians 4:31 to 32. And this is what we really have to internalize. If we're going to be of the word, we have to really internalize what the word says and find a way to really get to this point. It's as easy as just, letting go and letting God. But for some people, they need more. But this is where we start. Let's go right here. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you. All those that have been hurt, all those that have been dealing with the traumas of our past from our parents, put them away. Along with malice. Sorry, I forgot that part. Be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. Now, the question is, why do I bring all this up? I bring this up because it's important that in order to really get past, in order to heal, in order to find a change in our life, a change in our outlook, we have to do that. We have to forgive. We have to forgive. We have to put our trust in God. And it's the most hardest thing to do. But once you start doing it, it becomes easier. It's literally like climbing up a mountain and you have weights that are just tied behind you and you're trying to get up this mountain as quickly as you can. And the higher you go, the tougher it is because of gravity. The more winded that you get by the time you get to the top of the mountain, and then you're just willing to just let everything go because you're tired of it. You're tired of it and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. But guys, once you make it to the top of that mountain, things just become easier. And then you realize, and then it's like a new skill that's just been unlocked that you're now able to do more frequently. And with the wisdom and knowledge to be able to discern situations and how you really forgive. So again, all that bitterness and wrath and anger and slander and malice that was built up within you, maybe even trauma, heartache, pain, that's been built up within you. Once you forgive somebody, it's easier to let that go. And thus your life is changed. And those chains are gone. And this goes into regards of the video when it comes to parenting. Now, this man is going to be talking about bad parenting. Again, I haven't seen the full video. I only seen like 30 seconds of it. He mentions that he puts that this is bad parenting. The reason that I brought up the verse is that we need to learn to forgive and have grace for our families. There wasn't as much, let's say, information out there for our parents to really go and learn and seek to learn. If there's anything that you want to blame them for, it's not trying harder. You could always say that. You didn't try hard enough to try and make our relationship better. Well, the problem with that is you're not really going to try hard enough for something that you think you're doing right. And with a lot of parents, they think that what they're doing is right. Especially coming with immigrant parents, they come up with what they know from their country, come to America, and think that it's just easy to impose that same thing as though it was right. Depending on the parenting, a lot of stuff, especially in the Haitian culture, it doesn't really pan out well here in America. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. You guys like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you know every time a video is going to drop. And let's talk about, but let's just see what he got.
Y'all parents swear you have the best relationship with your child when in reality, they wouldn't tell you a single thing. And I had to figure this out, not from me, but from my little cousin, all right? First of all, it is a Saturday night cookout night, right? Me and my family, we got together and everything like that. And I am about to take a bite of my rib when all of a sudden I look up and I see my little cousin Max. Now it threw me off a little bit because Max is someone, he plays with the kids. You know what I'm saying? They were over there playing basketball. They were over there playing tag and everything like that. But Max was sitting right next to my uncle, his dad. And that threw me off a little bit, right? So I'm someone, if someone's not having fun, because he was the only kid that wasn't playing with other kids, so I was like, this is kind of weird. So I went up to him. Let me tell you something. That interaction, low-key threw me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Because I go up to him, everything like that. I'm like, what's good, Unc? How you been? Haven't talked to you in a minute. How's the fam? How's the wife? How's the dog? He's like, oh, it's the same old, just trying to get by. But as I'm looking at Max isn't saying a single word. And Max is someone, he is energetic. He is funny. He is cool. He's my favorite cousin. But when he wasn't talking, it threw me off a little bit. So I'm like, Max. He looked up at me. He's like, hey. Normally he'd be like, oh my gosh, Chris, I haven't seen you so long. How you been? I miss you. But he was quiet. I look at Max. I'm like, Max, you good, bro? Like, what's wrong? Before Max can even respond, his dad gonna be like, oh, Max, he's okay. He's just a little shy around the kids and everything. You know how it be, Chris. He's over here playing with it, trying to like nudge his son and everything like that. And I'm peeping his son. I'm peeping Max. Max is just head down, and that's not the Max I know, right? So I'm over here, I'm like, Max. At this point, I'm like, Max, are you genuinely okay? He look up, he's like, I'm like, nah, you not good, bro. You not good. I'm over here, I'm like, Max, come here. I take Max to the side and everything like that. We go over to my room. We go up to my room and everything like that. I'm like, Max, bro, why don't you want to go play with the kids? Why are you only just by your dad? This man, when I tell you what he said to me, yo, I about went into my uncle in straight rage because he was like, to be honest, Chris, I do want to go play with the kids, but it's just like when my dad's around, I just kind of just shrivel up and I just rather just act like I'm not there so he just doesn't notice me. Now at this point I'm thinking,
whew, dang, man. Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting.
What? Why? What? Max, bro, why? You're an energetic kid. You're somebody, you know what I'm saying? You're a class clown, bro. Like, why you wanna like be all to yourself? He's like, to be honest, I don't know what it is, but every time my dad's around, I just have this mental block, and it's just, I'd rather just be myself. I'm like, Max, how long has this been, bro? Like, have you ever tried to, talk to your dad or something? Like, have you talked to your dad? Like, what? Nah. He's like, I mean, if I'm being honest, Chris, it is honestly his fault because, I mean, just for the past couple of years, we just grew farther apart and everything like that. He's always yelling at me. He's always telling me, what to do and everything. And if I ever talk to him, we always argue, and I just don't know how to, talk to him without, conflicts arising and everything. So I just chose to be silent.
Man.
A 16-year-old kid is telling me this at a cookout. So I'm over here in my mind. I'm like, bro, what do I say? What do I do? I don't know what to do. Like, I'm genuinely, I'm shocked, right? So I'm like, Max, like, have you ever, like, I mean, you can at least talk to your dad. I mean, he's your dad at the end of the day. I mean, he's going to be there for you. He looks at me and he says this. He's like,
nope.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I don't know. I kind of like a relationship right now. I mean, if the way we're going, I mean, I'd rather just keep like this instead of talking to him because it just makes everything easier. I'm like, Max, if you could talk to him though, like, if you could restart, would you restart? I'm just trying to see if there's any hope left. He's like, I mean, I would, but I just don't know what to say, to be honest. Like, every time I try to say something, it's just like a mental block. And I don't really know how to communicate.
Don't know what to.
I don't know.
These are the. Dang, man. Let's keep going.
But it's okay. No, that's not okay, right? So I'm over here. I'm like, you know what, Max? Go ahead, go play with the kids. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make your dad, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna push him out to the side so you can go play with your kids. He like, really? You'll let me go play with the kids? I'm like, bro, yes, you are a kid too. Go be a kid, right? So I'm over here. I let him go out and everything. And I go up to my uncle. I'm like, Unc. He like, what's good, bro? What's good? He like a few drinks in. He's like, what's good? I'm like,
a few drinks in. It's always. Well, I don't want to say it's always, but yeah, I'm feeling Max, man. I'm feeling Max. This is exactly. And Daddy, I'm sorry for putting your business out there. I don't think it's the first time anyways. This is exactly how I felt when I was younger. To the T. Max was me. Literally. No difference. Even the fact that he talking about he already had a little liquor in him. Man.
You feel like you have a good relationship with your son? And he looked at me.
And he said,
one of these, he's like,
of course.
I mean, yeah, we have a good relationship. I mean, I like to think, every time I talk to him, he always responds. In my head, I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work, right? So I go ahead, about 30 minutes pass and everything like that. The cookout's starting to die down, but I'm looking at ways to, help my boy Max, because he's low-key the favorite cousin. Like, I love dude. I want the best for him, right? So I'm over here researching ways, to help this father-son dynamic, to help, him be able to vocalize how he feels without, feeling regret or just closing off. And I found something that genuinely changed not only his life, Max's life, but mine too. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Because I'm like, before everybody started leaving and everything, I'm like, Max. He's like, what, Chris? He's about to walk out the door. His dad's already in the car. I'm like, Max, I need you to download this app. He's like, what app? I'm like, bro, just trust me. Just give me your phone. I get on the phone, download the app. I'm like, here, use this. And Max, if you use this every day, let's just say for the next 3 weeks, I will buy you ice cream. Does that sound good?
The Bible app?
He takes the phone. He's like, you really buy me ice cream? I'm like, bro, yes, you my guy. But I'm like, but you gotta use it every day. Promise me you will, Max. He's like,
please be the Bible app.
Looks up. I will. Okay, cool. A month rolls by. Cookout again. My place. And this time, this cookout was a cookout I was not expecting, okay? Because first of all, I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the kitchen with my mom. We making everything. And I see my uncle and Max sit down.
Okay.
And as they were sitting down, I'm peeping the whole situation because I'm trying to see if, Max really used the app or he's just capping with me, right? I kid you not. I look at my uncle looking at Max and everything, and they're conversating. Genuinely conversating. Max over here, he's laughing. They both laughing at each other. They both joking. They both low-key getting a little too loud. I'm not gonna lie. I even had to tell him, like, hey, simmer down. Y'all being a little too loud. He like, oh, my uncle like, oh, well, I'm just trying to have fun with my son. Max is like, yeah, let me just have fun with my dad, Chris. Why you being like that? I'm like, hold on. Don't talk to me like that, Max.
Sounds a little crazy.
I thought we was cool, right? But then I'm like, hold on. Because they weren't like this a month ago. Like, this was not how they were and everything like that. I'm like, hold on. He been using that app. I'm over here to pull Max to the side because at this point, probably like, I want to say 15 minutes passed. We all got done eating. Max was playing with the kids. I'm like, Max, come here. I'm like, bro, you been using that app? He's like, bro, Chris, I honestly thank you for putting me on that app, because it genuinely helped me to be able to communicate how I feel with my dad in a way to where he wouldn't, get mad or just misunderstood me and everything. And I honestly, I can't thank you enough, because you genuinely changed our dynamic forever. And he gives me a hug. Now at this point, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, because it genuinely melted my heart a little bit, because both my uncle and my cousin, they were cool now. So I'm over here, I'm like, bro, the way they were communicating, I had to download the app. I'm not gonna lie, like, I had to, right? So I'll go ahead and search up in the app store, Gleam. I'm like, okay, let me download Gleam real quick. I get on it. I'm not expecting much of it. I'm gonna be honest. I was thinking, it was just something. I thought Max was, lying to me. I'm gonna be honest, right? I get on it, and I'm learning some things that I never would have thought I could learn before in my life. Okay, first of all, I learned that when you point at someone like this, it's more aggressive than if you point at them like this. I'm learning some genuine, ways to, communicate, ways to keep conversation going, everything like that. Tell me why I've been using it. I've been using it on one of my coworkers, a girl coworker. We got a date coming up next week.
All right, so I got played. Either this app doesn't exist, or this is actually a dating app that he's just trying to get everybody to get put on. Wow. I really hope the app was just because everything was sounding a little bit. Once he got to the point of I've been using the app and it was working with my dad, and now we just sitting here chit chatting, and now we have full blown conversations. I'm like, after a month of using the app, now the thing that kind of caught me off guard was it's like there's only so and this is where the conversation part can come in, and you guys could chime in on kind of my thought process with it. Based off of my experiences, there's only so much that the child can do to convince the parent to try to initiate that change. There's only so much that they can do. I don't see what app could possibly give the information that the child need aside from the Bible app, and even then you'd have to give them specific scriptures and locations to read in order to be able to help navigate in their life. And for a child, I don't know if they'd be able to really adjust within a month. So that part I was a little wary of it. I mean, I don't know if the app was actually real or not. So what I want to talk about is in regards to, let's go back to the parenting. Like I mentioned, that was kind of the experience that I had with my dad. And it's crazy because we were having a conversation not too long ago, because now that he's here, she's retired. We were having a conversation in regards to just some issues that was happening and stuff like that. And just like Chris here was talking, I hope that this was real and that this wasn't fake, because I'm mad that he literally talked about my whole childhood. If this wasn't real, it's kind of crazy. Or maybe it's what he was experiencing himself. I don't know. But based off of the situation, based off of how we are now in life, parents have this weird, and of course I'm going to say that it's weird because it's like, why would you even think this? To me, but to them, that's what they know. Parents have this thought process to where everything that they did helped lead you to where you are now. But as far as the mental, everything that you carried over the years and your perception on certain people was affected by how you were as a parent. To my dad, he was under the impression that he did everything right. He knew that he had issues. He knew that he had mistakes, that he's made mistakes and all that good jazz. But outside of those mistakes that we already knew was a thing, to him, everything was right. And I had to bring up to him that that's not the case. Honestly, by far, that's not the case. But there's this illusion that our relationship is what it is what we think it is, and truly it isn't. And based off of what we're seeing here, this is kind of a situation like I was saying in regards to myself. As I was growing up, it became difficult to have conversations with my parents because anytime I tried to talk about absolutely anything, school came up, making sure that I was doing good at school and that I need to make sure that I'm doing good. Like they drilled it in my head. Every single conversation, it didn't matter what it was. It could have been something that had nothing to do with school, but school always came up at the end of the conversation. Make sure I go to school, make sure I do good in school so that I could go to college, so I could get a good job, so I can get the stuff that I want. And this, that, and the third. Just make sure that I go to school so that I can do good while I'm so I can do good and get the things that I want, no matter what the conversation was. And I got tired of it. Because even it just came with asking a question. Lord have mercy. Even if it just came to just asking a question, which eventually I stopped doing. And as a child, you never want to stop asking your parents questions. They should be the main resource of the information that you get as a child. There was a point where I stopped asking questions because the answer always came back to school. I'm asking questions about little stuff. Oh, how to do this and stuff like that. And the thing that really happens with Haitian parents is that, especially when they're just coming into America, whatever the case may be, is that when you don't know something that's obvious to them, they now have this idea that you're dumb or you don't know as much. And so that brings up, make sure you go to school so that you can learn. Essentially saying stay in school. What you're asking me is dumb, and clearly you don't know anything. So stay in school so that you can graduate. Now, is that exactly what was going on in their heads? I'm just paraphrasing from my perspective. That's what it always sounded like to me. So what was my response to that? Just don't ask any questions. Just don't say anything. So then I didn't. The other issue was that, and I'm trying to find my words lightly. Living with my dad before we came to Jersey was like walking on eggshells. And I never wanted to do anything that would make him upset or make him angry to where he'd have to yell at me, batons, all that good jazz. And it was tough growing up. I got batons a lot when I was younger. And then as I started to get older, like sometime before we left New Jersey, that's when it started to slow down. The batons started to slow down, but the yelling was always there. So when it came out to going to events or whatever the case may be, it got to a point where I just didn't do anything. People would say I was well behaved. I just didn't want to get in trouble. And it's as simple as that. But to the parent, they've trained me the way that they wanted me to be trained. To not be rowdy like the other kids. To not sit here and ask 1,000 questions. To not do things that I wasn't supposed to do. To me, they trained me up the way that they wanted to. And that's all that they needed. The whole relationship aspect, the whole conversations, it didn't matter. We had very little conversations growing up. Let alone after when we left New Jersey to come to Georgia. It just became even fewer and more arguments when things were said. But that's from my perspective. He may think things completely different. And that's where it's like this idea of understanding the person that you're talking to. There's very little understanding of the person that you're talking to. And just really just the way that I think things are, that's how they are. That's not how life works. That's not how life works at all. Newsflash for those that don't know. When you're trying to be in relations with somebody else, have a relationship with somebody else, you have to be understanding of them, see their thought process and understanding. You don't have to fully agree, but just know, because then at that point, you have a better understanding of that person. You build that kind of chemistry thing like we talk about with basketball to where when they do things, you don't question it. You just know, yeah, this is something that they would do type thing. But when you don't have conversations, you don't know. For a very long time, granted the distance, because my father wasn't here, he was in New Jersey working while we were down here in Georgia, there were assumptions that he had of me. And I'm like, where did you even get this mindset from of of who I am, bro. And it was just weird, man. It was an interesting situation, and because of the way that I was brought up with that kind of mindset, with just not being responsive unless I was spoken to, not really asking questions anymore, it then made life difficult networking. Just being to ask questions in school, so that I can get more information, so that I can learn and, increase my knowledge. I've lost the skill to ask questions because I didn't want to ask questions to my parents. Therefore, I never asked questions anywhere else. And that was a huge detriment that I'm now learning, that I'm now trying to that I'm now, building up and stuff like that. And it's gotten a lot better now. But this is the whole process when it comes to, again, parenting for me with Haitians that are from a different country. Well, with Haitians, which are from a different country, that do things differently over there. And when you come over here, it's like you see all these other families living the way that they live. And so you try to replicate because you're here in America, but then you're dealing with a culture that says, you got to do things differently. And it's hard to navigate. It's hard to navigate. But going back to the verse that I was talking about earlier, it all comes down to, now that we're older, we do things differently. We don't go on the complete opposite side where we just, allow our kids to just do anything and we just try to be best friends with the kids. But we invoke this discipline, but we also build a relationship with our kids, knowing our kids, understanding our kids, and helping them grow and walking with them in life. This is how we should be doing as parents. And with that in mind, that also comes with the idea that I have to have grace for my parents. They raised me the best way that they could. And the way that I am now is due to the way that I was raised. Also due to, following the word and seeking guidance from the word and stuff like that with various situations that I've been through. But that discipline got me to where I am today. And what I do is I take what was good and I leave what was bad so that I can do for the next generation. But it really takes real evaluation to understand what was actually good and what was actually bad. And it's important to acknowledge these type of situations. The way that you are is partially because of how your parents raised you at the end of the day. So, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.